Hi, I'm Heather from Carseat site, and this is the Graco Extend2Fit Convertible Carseat. A convertible car seat rear faces and forward faces. The Extend2Fit rear faces from 4 to 50 pounds and forward faces from 22 to 65 pounds. Today we're going to install it forward facing using the seat belt and top tether. There are a few things we need to do to get it ready for forward facing. So let's take a look at it. First, we're going to remove the inserts. So this bottom insert right here is used only for rear facing, so we're going to take it out. I'm also going to take out this head pillow. I generally don't like head pillows for forward facing. They tend to squish big heads. So I'm going to take it out. The head wings are really all kids need when they're in their car seats, so there's plenty of support there for older kids. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that the leg extension panel is pushed all the way in. If you used it for rear facing, this is for rear facing only, so make sure that this leg extension panel is pushed all the way in. It can cause major leg injuries if it's out when forward facing. So make sure that we push it all the way in. Also, we want to make sure that we've adjusted the harness so that it's above the child's shoulders. Forward facing harness is differently adjusted than rear facing. So rear facing, the harness should come out and go up and over the shoulders. It needs to be like this on the child's shoulders. For forward facing, the harness is there to hold the child back in the seat. So we want it to come out above the child's shoulders like that. So we're going to adjust it up. All right. We also need to be concerned with the seat about recline. The Extend2Fit has a different kind of recline setting for kids under 40 pounds. For kids under 40 pounds, between 22 and 40 pounds, it needs to be set to recline setting number 4. So if you take a look at that, what that looks like is this setting right here. And in my car, the base needs to be set flat on the seat. So we can't set it to recline 4 and then set it upright like that. Now it needs to be set flat on the vehicle seat like that. So it doesn't give very much space for legs right here, nor does it give very much space for the headrest to go up. In fact, that's cutting it pretty close. I would say that this setting down, one setting like that, is about the highest it can go in my particular car. If your kid is under 40 pounds, this may not be the seat you want to have, or leave them rear facing until they're over 40 pounds. So that may be the better call on that one. Over 40 pounds, you can use either recline setting 5 or recline setting 6. The nice thing about this seat is that it's color coded. So for forward facing, anything in the orange is what we're going to be looking at. Rear facing is blue, so we don't need to pay attention to anything blue, just anything orange. So the nice thing about this seat right here is you'll notice that the base is hanging off the edge of the front of my seat right here, and that's okay. This label right here shows us how far we can go off the edge of the vehicle seat. So what Graco's done is they've said you can have up to 80% of the seat, of the base, on the vehicle seat. So 20% can hang off of the edge. They've given us a label right here that shows that we can have this seat, this much of the base can be hanging off of the front of the vehicle seat. So if your vehicle seat is narrow, like if you have a truck or some Jeeps have narrow back seats, that much of the base needs to be on the vehicle seat. So that's a really nice label right there that shows us how much of that base needs to be on there. So pretty handy. But we're going to install this all the way upright so that it fits best in my vehicle. And do it that way. And so you can see how much more of it can be on my vehicle seat, and we'll just set it all the way back. Now, in order to install a car seat forward facing, we always want to use the top tether, whether we're installing it with the seat belt or with the lower latch strap. So I'm going to disconnect my tether strap, and you'll notice that the tether strap is at the top back of the car seat, and that's an important strap to have because it holds the top of the car seat tight against the vehicle seat. So it's an important piece of installation process. So we'll just do that, make sure that it's handy for us when it comes time to install the car seat. And we're set to go. So I think we're ready to get started. Just a quick note before we get started that I forgot to mention that the crotch strap needs to be in the outermost slot when forward facing. So if you don't know how to do that, take a look at the video I'm posting above. It's really super easy to do. So just make sure that that crotch strap is in the outermost position before you get started, because otherwise it may be just a little bit of a chore. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started with the installation. So again, make sure that that tether is forward, and we're going to make sure that the base is flat on the seat. What I like to do is I like to pull the headrest up as far as it goes. That just opens up the belt path so that we can see everything. I like to make things as easy as possible, make sure that I can see everything. The belt path is where the seat belt goes through. So again, find our orange, because that's our forward facing stuff. So our orange labels tell us that this is our forward facing belt path. It's always behind the child's back. So we're going to look for that. Then we're going to lift the cover up from the inside of the seat. And it's easy if you just pick it up and just kind of shove it into the headrest. And hopefully it stays. Sometimes with newer covers, it might be a little stiff and it might want to keep falling back down. You just got to deal with it. But anyways, take your seatbelt. And what I like to do with the seatbelt is, my method is just to take as much as you're dealing with at the time. Don't try and pull too much seatbelt out at once, because if you pull too much seatbelt out at once, it gets super strappy and it can get really confusing, and your seatbelt can get twisted up and everything. Don't do that. Just take out a little bit at a time, and take your seatbelt and run it through that belt path. So just like that. Make sure that it's going behind your harness. Your harness is going to be right there in front of you, and you should be able to see your seatbelt. So everything's open. You should see everything right here, and then just buckle it in. Okay? And now just kind of pull the slack out of your seatbelt. Now what we're going to do is lock the seatbelt. So take your seatbelt and just pull it slowly towards you till you reach the very end. And you can see that I don't have a very long seatbelt, so just take it, and that is about 95% of our seatbelts are switchable retractors. So now I'm switching my retractor over to locked mode. Do you hear that clicking? That means it's switched into locked mode, okay? And I can't pull any out. It's locked and it's getting shorter and shorter. Okay, so I just feed that into the retractor. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull on the shoulder portion of the seat belt. And what that does is that pulls on the lap portion of the seat belt. It makes the lap belt tighter. So I'm just going to pull on that while pushing down onto the car seat, and then just feed that back in. It's important not to let go of that shoulder belt, because if I let go of the shoulder belt, it's going to feed slack back into the lap belt. So I'm just going to put pressure on the car seat. and I'm gonna test it. So I grab it right here at the belt path, test side to side, and it is moving. So I need to put more pressure on the car seat. Now, I find forward-facing car seats a little more difficult to install than rear-facing car seats. It's just the angle of the car seat on the vehicle seat that makes it harder to install, in my opinion. So what I need to do is, by just pressing here, it's not getting very tight. So I could try pressing again, and what I'm doing is I'm actually putting my back against my vehicle, which helps get it a little tighter. I got that a lot tighter, so let me see if that helped. Did a little, I can get it a lot tighter. So a couple of things I can do. I can either press down on top of the car seat like that, or I can get in front of it and with my knees, press my knees into the front of the seat and push back. So let me see. I got it a little bit tighter. Okay. I think that did the best. So using my knees, I pressed against the front and pushed that way. Sometimes that's what it takes. You don't want to be like jumping up and down on your car seat. You just want to use the most pressure on your seat that you can get without using too much effort. You want to work smart, not hard, you know? Okay, now what I want to do, pull that cover down, fix the harness. Okay, I want to get my tether installed. Now on my car, it's on the bottom of my vehicle seat. So what I have to do is install this tether, and I need to make it all the way as long as I can get it. Look in your vehicle manual for where your tether anchor is located. It may be on the roof, it may be on the back, halfway down your vehicle seat, maybe under your vehicle seat. It could be anywhere, so look in your vehicle manual. Okay, and that's how we install the Graco Extend2Fit using the seatbelt and top tether. Thanks for watching.